Welcome. Today, we're unpacking a practical but powerful idea. In the modern restaurant industry, great food is only the beginning. In today's hyper-competitive landscape, where margins are razor thin and customer expectations soar higher than ever, something remarkable is happening. Forward-thinking restaurateurs are discovering that true success isn't just about serving delicious food. It's about orchestrating a flawless symphony of precision, consistency, and excellence across every single touch point. From the moment ingredients arrive at your back door to the final smile and thank you as guests depart, every detail matters. The real engine behind lasting success is comprehensive quality assurance. That means every part of the dining experience is designed, measured, trained, monitored, and improved. This isn't just another operations manual. This is a blueprint for transforming your restaurant into an unstoppable force of customer loyalty and operational mastery. We're about to journey through the revolutionary world of comprehensive quality assurance, where science meets hospitality and data-driven decisions create unforgettable dining experiences. By the end of this exploration, you'll see your kitchen, your staff, and your entire operation through an entirely new lens. Let's dive in. Here's the burning question that keeps every restaurant owner awake at night. How can an establishment ensure that a complex signature dish tastes exactly the same on a chaotic Friday night as it does on a quiet Tuesday afternoon? That question matters more than almost anything else in hospitality, because customers do not judge a restaurant by its best possible performance. They judge it by the experience they actually receive. Think about it. We're living in an era where a single negative review can cost you thousands in lost revenue, where food safety violations go viral in seconds, and where customers expect Michelin star consistency at casual dining prices. If a signature dish tastes amazing one visit, but arrives cold, late, or poorly portioned the next, trust erodes. If one server is warm and informed, while another seems confused or rushed, the brand feels unreliable. Research shows that 68% of restaurant complaints stem directly from inconsistency, not outright failure. In a competitive market with thin margins, consistency isn't just a nice-to-have. It is the ultimate currency and the foundation of trust. And that brings us to the core challenge. Restaurants are naturally variable environments, so excellence must be intentionally engineered. So here's the problem with how most restaurants have operated for decades. Traditional kitchens run on what I call the hero chef model. Everything depends on one person's memory, intuition, and physical presence. When the executive chef is on the line, everything's perfect. But what happens during their day off? Or when they move to a new restaurant? Suddenly, that signature dish tastes completely different. That perfectly seared steak, overcooked. That delicate sauce, broken. This is the fatal flaw. Many restaurants rely too heavily on informal knowledge. A senior cook remembers how the sauce should look, a server learns service pacing by watching someone else, and a manager only notices problems after a guest complains. These habits may work for a while, but they collapse under pressure, turnover, and scale. Without objective standards, ingredients fluctuate, recipes drift, portions expand or shrink, and service depends entirely on whoever happens to be working that shift. Traditional quality control becomes purely reactive. Managers only fix cold meals or stockouts after a customer complains, making it a game of endless, exhausting damage control. Without measurable frameworks, without documented systems, without objective standards, restaurants are essentially gambling with every single service. The gap between what customers expect and what informal methods can reliably deliver has never been wider, and that gap is costing the industry billions. So what's the solution? After analyzing hundreds of successful operations, researchers identified a comprehensive quality assurance framework that transforms restaurants from chaotic artistry into precision-engineered machines, built on 5 powerful pillars. First, the supply chain fortress. Instead of accepting whatever your vendor delivers, you implement rigorous supplier audits and vendor scorecards. Every single ingredient gets inspected at the loading dock against detailed specifications. If the tomatoes don't meet your exact parameters, they get rejected immediately, no exceptions. Second, architectural recipe standardization. These are not grandma's handwritten index cards. These are digital blueprints specifying exact techniques, temperatures, timing, and plating geometry, so a junior line cook can execute the executive chef's vision with near-perfect accuracy because the system removes guesswork entirely. Third, economic portion control. Using calibrated scales, color-coded scoops, and daily audits, you ensure every guest receives identical value while protecting your margins. Fourth, standardized SOPs and front-of-house training. The same discipline that governs the kitchen extends to service, enforcing milestones like the crucial 30-second guest greeting, complaint handling scripts, and role-playing training scenarios. And fifth, systematic feedback collection that closes the loop between the guest experience and your internal standards. Together, these 5 pillars create what researchers call a self-correcting system where quality isn't hoped for. It's engineered, monitored, and guaranteed across every shift. Now here's where it gets really exciting. Because once the framework is in place, technology makes it scalable and measurable. When restaurants implement this comprehensive system, the results are nothing short of transformational. Let me share the hard data. When advanced point-of-sale systems link directly to kitchen display screens and automated inventory software, managers instantly eliminate operational blind spots. Ticket times dropped by an average of 40% because kitchen display screens eliminated miscommunication and dynamically prioritized orders. One multi-unit chain saw average fulfillment time drop from 22 minutes to just 13 minutes during peak hours. Food waste plummeted by 25% through predictive inventory management, with one independent operator saving $18,000 in their first year alone. Order accuracy errors decreased by 60% when standardized training met digital verification. And most critically, customer complaints dropped by 80% because the system caught issues before they reached guests. The research tracked 147 restaurants over 18 months, and the data was consistent across all variables: size, cuisine type, and market segment. The key insight is that data exposes bottlenecks before they become guest-facing failures. If Tuesday dinner service always slows down, analytics reveal whether the issue is staffing, menu complexity, station layout, or training. Quality assurance shifts permanently from reacting to problems to preventing them entirely. But internal data is only half the story. The customer's voice tells the restaurant whether its standards are actually being felt at the table. And this feedback loop is where the framework truly comes alive. The approach involves systematic feedback collection through direct surveys, QR codes at the table, checkout tablets, email and SMS follow-ups, online review monitoring, and social media tracking. Positive feedback should be acknowledged and amplified because it confirms what is working and reinforces team morale. Negative feedback must be handled quickly, ideally within 24 hours, with genuine empathy, a sincere apology, and a concrete recovery plan. But most critically, comments must be categorized. Complaints about wait time, food temperature, service attitude, cleanliness, or atmosphere should never remain scattered anecdotes. When patterns emerge, they become operational evidence. A spike in slow seating complaints may point to host training gaps, scheduling problems, or table management software limitations. A cluster of temperature complaints maps directly back to holding protocols in the kitchen. This is the power of systematic feedback. Customer sentiment stops being anecdotal noise and becomes a precise, actionable roadmap for operational improvement. What guests experience at the table becomes the quality assurance system's most honest performance report. Here's the fundamental shift that changes everything. The old way of running a restaurant was like being a firefighter, constantly putting out fires. Cold steak sent back? Extinguish it with a comp. Negative review posted? Extinguish it with an apology. Staff no-show? Scramble for coverage. But when you implement comprehensive quality assurance, you stop fighting fires and start predicting and preventing them before they ever ignite. This is the paradigm shift, from reactive damage control to proactive excellence. The data flowing through your POS predicts you'll be understaffed next Friday, so you adjust schedules today. Your inventory system forecasts you'll run out of salmon by Sunday, so you modify your prep pars now. Customer feedback trends show complaints about table cleanliness increasing, so you retrain your bussers tomorrow, not after your rating drops. But the deepest transformation is cultural. Quality assurance cannot survive as a punitive checklist that employees follow only when a manager is watching. It has to become a shared mindset, a living ecosystem driven by the frontline workforce. Because cooks, servers, hosts, and bussers see operational friction every single day. Management must create safe channels for these observations, improvement boards, staff questionnaires, performance teams, and regular debriefs, and reward quality behavior with recognition, incentives, and advancement opportunities. This changes QA from enforcement into ownership. Your role transforms from crisis manager to strategic architect, designing an operation that runs itself and adapts continuously to new demands. The restaurants that thrive in the next decade will be the ones that mastered this shift. So what's the bottom line? After this deep dive, one truth stands crystal clear. Comprehensive quality assurance isn't a bureaucratic burden. It is your secret weapon for building a restaurant that lasts. We've journeyed through the 5 pillars of supply chain control, recipe standardization, portion management, standardized training, and feedback systems. We've seen how technology transforms reactive firefighting into proactive fortune-telling. We've discovered that the frontline workforce, empowered and rewarded, becomes the engine of continuous improvement. And we've confirmed what the data proves across 147 restaurants. Consistency is what turns first-time visitors into loyal customers, and loyal customers into passionate brand advocates. Now it's your turn to act. Start small. Digitize your top 5 recipes this week. Implement one vendor's scorecard. Install a basic temperature logger. The point is to begin immediately, because restaurants don't fail because they lack passion or great food. They fail because they lack systems. They fail because they gamble on subjective excellence instead of engineering objective quality. But you now have the blueprint to be different. In the end, the restaurants that endure are the ones that deliberately design excellence into every shift. Restaurants that are not just cooked, but designed, measured, and continuously improved. So take this knowledge, implement these systems, and build something extraordinary that will thrive for decades to come. Like and subscribe for more helpful videos like this. Connect with Forks for the experienced accounting professionals your restaurant needs. Details in description below.